Well, today my brother and I are getting together and we're walking back to the woods here. We're gonna make a little fire, and I brought some deer steaks, and I'm gonna show you how I cook some deer steaks over the fire on a cast iron skillet. And I think he brought some cube steak or something like that from home. So we're gonna gather some firewood, get a fire built, and then we're gonna cook some lunch. We just got about 5 or 6 inches of snow yesterday, and it's about 8 degrees out right now, but it's not windy, so it really doesn't feel too cold. We got a pretty good fire going. We're gonna let it burn down a little bit, then we can start cooking over it. So that's what we're waiting on right now. Alright, so I brought a little grate grill thing to go over the fire. And then I brought a cast iron skillet. And then what I brought for my meal was some venison loin, basically backstrap for my mule deer that I shot in Montana this last year, and some green beans. And then I'm gonna cook it in some butter, and I bought some brought some spices and stuff. And then Nick, you have a, what do you have?
I have a cube steak.
Cube steak, that's right. So yeah, we're gonna throw all that in the cast iron skillet and cook it up and eat it for lunch. So my favorite way to have deer backstrap is to take an iron skillet and some butter. Basically just cook it in some butter. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so let's get this thing, get the deer flipped over here. Cube steak. And we're just doing a simple seasoning with some salt, and Montreal steak. Smelling really good. It's looking really good here. I like to leave, especially venison steaks, fairly rare because they dry out if you overcook them too much. So really don't want to get those cooked too much more. And Nick's beef cube steak I think's cooking up pretty good too. So about ready to throw some green beans on there for a little bit, and then we should be ready to serve it up and eat it. Okay, I think we're gonna plate up this cube steak here. There's Nick's lunch.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. And there is some mule deer venison backstrap, cooked over campfire in an iron skillet.
Oh wow,
Hot.
that's good.
What'd you eat?
Cube steak.
Cube steak's good?
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, let's try a bite of some of this backstrap. Really good. Yep, that's my favorite way to have it. And this is the first mule deer that I've ever shot. And really, this is the first steak that I've ever had from him, too. Maybe a little more gamey than whitetail backstrap. But it's super tender. And really, it's really good, actually. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I got a little more done than I like, but it's okay. It's not too done where it's really tough or anything like that. Thumbs up.